This is lesson 83, properties of geometric solids. So plane figures we've talked about before, squares and circles and rectangles. Those are flat. They're like 2D, drawn on paper. They don't pop up. So geometric solids or geometric figures take up space. They pop up. It's a cube. It's a Kleenex box. It's a house. So those things are not just flat on paper, but they're three-dimensional. So looking at page 540 in the book, you can see that they've got a nice chart, and they show you like a clear version where you can see the backside, and then a more solid version, okay? Cube, rectangular, prism, pyramid, cylinder, sphere, and cone. So I've got something that's a little bit bigger and easier to see here. The cube looks like a Kleenex box. I don't know why I use Kleenex, because we have them, we all have them. A cone, so it looks like an upside down ice cream cone. Turned either way, it's still a cone. A sphere, so like a basketball. A cylinder, like a soup can. A rectangular prism, okay, so this might be more of my Kleenex box. This would be maybe a Rubik's Cube. These are the same on all sides, these are not. And a pyramid, so if you notice, this is a four-sided pyramid, so it's got a square on the bottom. There are three-sided pyramids, and then that's a triangle on the bottom. So this one's a four-sided. So you kind of have to define that a little bit or look more carefully at it. We won't really work with that one, but you need to know what that is called. Okay, so we know that now we've got some geometric solids. So let's define some terms. I see that I've drawn myself a little cube, and the face is like the flat part. So here, 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 the yellow part. The edges are along the sides, and they are where two faces meet. So this face and this face meets together on the edge. And then a vertex is where three faces meet. So it's the corners. The plural of vertex is vertices. So if I have more than one vertex, I say I have some vertices. A cube has 6 faces. A cube has 12 edges, and it has 8 corners or vertices. Okay, so we'll have to kind of remember that. Now they're going to talk, oops, I don't think we need that yet. Example 1, they said name the shape. Okay, so let's look back. What shape does that look like? Looks like a rectangular prism, doesn't it? Because it's not the same on all sides. How many faces does it have? So if I counted them, I would say this one and the one on the other side, this one and the one on the other side, this one and the one on the other side. So it has 6 faces, okay? This is almost like the cube. They both have 6 faces and same number of edges and same number of vertices. This one just has, they're not the same, each side is not congruent, okay? So I have 4 congruent sides and 2 congruent sides. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Example 2 says, what's the shape of a basketball? It's not a circle, it's a sphere. Coming back to this, I see that it's a sphere, okay? Example 3 says, name this shape and identify its congruent parts. Look at how I tried to draw it. Wasn't even close. We're using the book on this one. Okay, so that's a pyramid, right? And you can see the bottom of it. They gave you kind of a clear version, and you can see that it's a square on the bottom. But this side right here is a triangle, and that's a triangle, and that's a triangle, and that's a triangle. So it has a square base and 4 congruent triangular faces. So it has only 4 congruent parts. The square's not the same as all the others. All the others are the same, right? They ask if any of the faces are parallel. Well, they're not, because they're coming up to a point, aren't they? Parallel lines never meet. Okay, let's look at this is a soup can. Oops. Let's come over here. I've got my soup can. So they ask if the shape has any congruent parts. So it's one part around the outside, isn't it? And then two faces on the top and the bottom that are circles. So those two faces on the top and the bottom are the same. The top of a soup can, you flip it over, it looks the same as the bottom of a soup can. So I have two congruent faces and then the shape of the cylinder around it. One thing that they talked about that was confusing to me, and they didn't really give you examples about it, but I wanted to go over it. So they give you this rectangular prism, and they wanted to tell you about the edges, okay, and the lines that those edges form. So parallel lines are in the same plane, and they remain the same distance apart. So this one and this one, AD and BC, the green ones, are parallel to each other. They're the same flat top, and they're going to go lines like this forever. They're never going to meet. Skew lines are different planes and don't intersect. So skew lines are the pink ones. So AB is going that way and GH is going that way, and they're always on the top. So GH is going, FG. FG is going to go this way, AB is going to go that way, and they're never going to meet, are they? So they're skew. Perpendicular lines are the same plane, and they intersect at right angles. So the intersecting line, perpendicular line are the blue ones. So that one's going to come that way, that one's going to come that way, and they're going to meet, and they're perpendicular. They meet at right angles. Okay, so that was that little bit in there that they didn't give you any examples about. I'll pause it, take notes on that. That might be helpful to you. Maybe not. It's kind of hard to see. I like the color coding. That helped me. All right, so that's this lesson. Good luck.